Hey guys, Dylan here, and somehow I've got Taylor. I haven't thrown her out the window yet, and we are going to be watching a Christian video. Today's Christian video is going to be I Am Straight, and there was actually two parts to this. One part was only 8 seconds long, so I spliced the two together in some Frankenstein abomination. So I hope you guys are ready for like 2 hours of watching a 10-minute video.
I, Kristen Chandler, am straight.
Crispin?
Don't you
To
forget.
all the gay men out there who have seen a photo of like that, I'm sorry, you're not gay. You're straight. I'm sorry.
Well, Christian owns a pinup, so he has to be straight. That's his logic. He wouldn't
that
have
what that
Playboy if... Yes, that's a Playboy
Oh.
pinup.
I don't...
In Playboy, they have like 4 pages like put together, and it's supposed to be like a poster that you put up on your wall. That's
Oh.
why they're called pinups, because you pin them up. But
That's lame.
Chris thought that having a Playboy pinup would be something, but it's a really old one, like really old. So it's not like he's currently buying Playboy with a pinup that fucking old. Also, why the fuck does Bob have a Playboy collection when he has a fucking family?
I mean, there's plenty of husbands out there who do the same.
That's weird. I don't like that.
You know who I am. But I have randomly decided to make this video.
You know what? That's the most befitting word that Chris has ever used. Randomly.
Yeah.
I have randomly decided to do this.
At least he's honest.
I don't know. It's random.
Yeah.
I think Chris could say that at the beginning of every video, and it would be befitting.
Mm-hmm.
I've randomly decided to bitch about this today, guys.
Because I am sick of all the false accusations and rumors and slanders that have been going around on the internet against me. So I tell you,
This is one of those videos where Chris clearly has gas, and he refuses to take a 30-minute break. Like, fucking take a Tums, rub your tummy a little bit, and then come back when you're done fucking farting.
Wait, is he doing that?
He adjusts himself up and down, and you can see that it's the discomfort. And when he gets upset, he starts having gas.
Bruh.
Yeah. Like, you can sometimes see when his face fucking twitches, too.
Bruh,
It's
gas?
disgusting.
That's cringe.
It is. It's really cringe. Do you fucking record videos when you're shitting your pants?
That's our... Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good fucking argument.
I would totally do that, actually.
for sure and for true that I am straight. I can tell you why from a lifetime of stories, but I'll tell it to you in just a few short.
Like, do you see the squint face he's making? Like he's George W. Bush?
Yeah,
There's a reason why
literally,
people
he
said
is.
that it looks like he was taking a shit.
Oh my god.
minutes. Anyway, most of my friends in my life have been female. I've
That's
had
kinda
only
gay.
a few male acquaintances.
When you, maybe it's just me, but when you see a gay guy hanging around, is he hanging around a bunch of dudes or is
No,
he hanging around a bunch
he-
of chicks?
Usually girls.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not a good argument.
And, like, I have a bunch of gay male friends, and
Meanwhile-
they always hung around women.
Meanwhile, when you see, like, straight men, they hang around a bunch of men and they
Right.
talk about gross shit.
Uh-huh.
And that's why Chris didn't want to hang around men, because they talk about gross shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get how hanging around a bunch of women that's going to talk about feminine shit is any straighter than hanging around a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, I honestly, there's no correlation, really. I
It's
don't think.
fucking dumb.
It shouldn't matter who you hang around with.
And they definitely turn me off, the majority of them. because
Majority?
And so some do turn him on.
Yeah, apparently.
A Freudian slip.
Mm-hmm.
they're rude, crude, and inconsiderate, causing wars and such.
Your
What?
local Chad down the street, he caused World War III. I can't hang out with you. You caused the war and such.
That's someone I would love to hang around with.
Yeah.
Causing wars.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that'd
do
be
you like
fun.
war? Yes.
Chad face.
And you guys can't see it. I actually did turn my head for that.
But women are so kind and sweet.
Not all of them. I'm pretty crude and
Yeah.
start wars.
People have pointed this out to Chris that some of the most vile people in history have been women. There have been women leaders who fucking brutally tortured their subjects and their prisoners. Like, there has been so many brutal and violent women dictators and queens throughout world history. It is completely ludicrous to say women are loving and caring by default. Hell, what's that bitch's name that went around poisoning every family she was like a maid to?
Oh,
Like, she's fucking crazy,
yeah.
and she's a woman, and she's doing a caring job, but she's fucking poisoning people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't assume
Oh,
shit.
and that nurse that worked in the ER that would intentionally kill like old people because
Yeah.
she didn't like them.
Not every woman's kind and caring, and not every man's a dick.
And I could argue that more women are crazy than men.
Well, hysteria is a term literally made
Oh, yeah.
for women, and
Definitely.
it is because women act hysterical on their period.
Mm-hmm.
So it is debatable, but men yet again have testosterone, which can make them act like out of control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a coin. It's really just a coin.
It's
of
not
duality.
black and white.
Yeah, it's not fair to say that women are the fucking beacons of virtue and fucking men are gross.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to look at any of them in bikinis or in a nude.
But yet he's holding up Playboy. Like, how the fuck does that add up? Like, you don't have to sexualize them, and then he sexualizes them.
He's a walking contradiction.
To fail to see.
To fail to
What?
see?
What?
I think you fail
See
to
what?
see.
Titty?
To fail to see the beauty.
He says attraction at first, and he switches to a more, like, neutral term, like beauty.
That's how you know he's not being 100% true and honest.
A real fucking psychologist would have a field day with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
In each and every wonderful woman. But inside the beauty, they all have
Where's the beauty in Rosie O'Donnell? Where's the beauty in Mama June?
Oh my god. Oh.
I can name off a bunch of gross women that have no fucking like positive traits.
I
to
don't
them.
even want to think about her. Oh my god, I just think about her flabs and what's under them.
caring qualities, the majority of them. You know, between them and me and the majority of the world, we all just want to be understood.
Yeah, including those men that you just fucking called warmongers.
Yeah, exactly.
Literal fucking beings of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to be understood. Except for men, and especially gay men.
And I understand the ladies.
He understands the ladies.
Yeah.
I want participation in the chat. If Chris understands the ladies, push 1. If he doesn't, push 2. I'm
I
very
think he
eager.
knows the right spots, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking put that twisted arm up in there.
Ew! Oh, I forgot Mama June lost weight.
She didn't lose weight. She got weight sucked
gastric
out of her.
bypass?
Yeah. She got that shit sucked out of her. Looks like Chris does know his way around the ladies. What a shock.
I understand the women.
Oh. Well, you guys are wrong.
But I do not need to stoop down to the level of where my hormones would go out of rage.
What?
He's lying.
What?
He's saying that he's not a virgin with rage and he's not gonna get fucking out of control when he sees a woman, but he's a fucking liar. He immediately groped women when he was on a date with them. He's a fucking liar.
To appreciate.
The arm twisted thing is a reference to She Came for Quick.
Yeah,
if
that
you've never
drawing.
seen it, then you don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Them as being my friends and my gal pals, even as low as acquaintances, because I can only have one true sweetheart. But hey,
See, here's the thing though. He always used this as an excuse. It was, how can I hate women when I hang out with so many women? When he's made it abruptly clear, because he kept doing it over and over again, that he only hangs out with women that he sees as either a love interest or a backup love interest.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't ever see any of his women as friends. He sees them as potential sweethearts in the future.
Right.
anyway, get over to the women. You can definitely see the sheer brilliance
What the fuck?
I love that for the sheer brilliance of women, he has to imitate himself grabbing someone's breast.
I know, this whole, like, speech is about how he objectifies women, basically.
I know. And he thinks that he's, like, defending them, and then he's proving his straightness.
No, he's not. He's putting them on a pedestal when they're no better than anyone else.
And this type of mindset and this type of behavior would make you reject yourself as a man, and then make you want to be a woman so you can be perfect in your own eyes.
Exactly.
Some people call that gender dysphoria.
Of their delightful personalities between each and every one.
That's the one thing I fucking hate about Chris. He always just summarizes women as having delightful personalities. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
It's such a nebulous and vague word. Nice personalities. That's what you say to a girl in like 3rd grade when you don't know how to say I think you're hot. Like what the fuck? You're 20.
He's trying to compliment their, like, instead of their body, you know, he's going for the more emotional attachment to make
no
it
woman
seem...
wants to fucking hear that. No woman wants to hear you have a nice personality. That's what you say to ugly women.
He's just saying that because he doesn't want to compliment their, like, their titties.
Yeah. He compliments women like a child would.
Yeah.
He doesn't compliment women like any woman would find attractive.
Mm-hmm.
With them. Yet some of them can turn and be very distraught.
Oh, you would fucking know, Chris. You haven't hung around a woman when she's on her period, Chris. The only person it's your mom, and your mom's probably post-menopause.
Him consistent harassing women proves he isn't trans.
That's not true. Trans people can harass people. In my opinion, to be trans would be to have gender dysphoria and then choose to transition. Christian almost definitely does have gender dysphoria to some degree.
Definitely.
But he has yet to actually transition, so he would be transgender, not transsexual. Despite what he says.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know, there's different arguments, but putting it that way.
Yeah, he's transgender, not transsexual, regardless how many holes he stabs in his fucking groin.
Oh, I didn't even want to think about that.
But we have to learn to abide by them.
No, we don't. Tell women to shut the fuck up when they're on their period.
That's what Dylan does.
It's a good and proven strategy.
Yeah, Dylan beats me as well.
You gotta go for that 1950s mentality.
And just let it pass. Even if it doesn't pass.
So women are cunts, that's what he's saying.
So just put up with it?
Yeah, put up with the woman because she's a woman. You're wrong, you're a man. Wow, the beta mindset.
I want that coochie later, so you gotta put up with it.
God, if you just tell them to shut the fuck up, they'll come back to you.
That'll only happen so many times. You better stop.
Oh yeah, better so.
We still love them because at one point, before they did a 180, in that sense, they were still caring.
No, I love women because I know eventually they'll calm the fuck down and quit being crazy cunts.
You're so mean. I have yet to calm down.
That's why you're smiling.
And they can be still caring. And just because they act in a harsh nature, even when they should be calm and peaceful.
You know, this isn't really a defense video for women, because he keeps pointing out why women suck.
I'm gonna say, like, as a man, you don't have to put up with anything.
No,
like,
you don't. As a person, you don't have to put up with anything.
Yeah.
Just like how men can control when they're fucking horny, women can control when they're on their fucking period.
I can't really.
You can calm down. Anyone can calm the fuck down. You just have to be assertive enough to say calm the fuck down.
I get so irritated.
You just have to tell people, calm the fuck down. And that's one of the things that women always say, don't tell me to calm down. You need to be told to calm down.
Oh, $5.
What I meant was that his attitude and treatment of women came off, that he uses transgender identity to have his way. See,
I get you.
I can get that, and some people have said that, but when he pretends to be Sonichu, he eventually comes out of it. When he pretends to be young Chris, he eventually comes out of it. He never came out of being transgender. Like, he never stopped being transgender. It's a consistent thing. And there were arguments being made that he was trans well before he came out. So I disagree. I think Chris is actually transgender. I
do
give
too.
him that. Chris speaking patterns drive me crazy. It's like reading German with... Yeah, I can agree with you.
I just can't call Chris by, like, she, her pronouns.
I don't either. Like, Chris obviously has gender dysphoria, but he doesn't understand it, and he doesn't get it. So I can't really respect his pronouns too much because he's willing to go back to he, him. He's willing to call himself a him when he's fucking being Chris or Sonichu.
Right.
So I disagree. I 100% disagree with Chris 100% being transsexual. But I think just as any fucking window washer does, they fucking switch between him or her. And that's Chris. And I've known plenty of trans people that flip-flopped on if they were trans or not. And people call that trans trenders, but it's whatever you want to call it. I just see it as they're picking and choosing because you gave them the option to pick and choose.
Well, I mean, they're just confused at that
That's
point.
what I'm saying.
And I think that's fine.
If you tell people they can be any gender they want to be, they're going to pick and choose and have a hard time deciding.
Yeah, definitely.
They still care about the men in their lives.
I could argue
And
that
especially
a lot don't
to
at a
children
certain point.
that she and her husband put together. Like,
You put your children together, like, with Legos.
What does he mean? Like, you create it together using Mega
It's a
Blocks?
Build-A-Bear?
Yeah, you stuff it.
I
Put a
hope you
little
don't
heart
stuff
in
your
it.
kid.
I hope not.
I will be putting together with my sweetheart.
Someone play the sad violin. The tiniest violin.
My sweet panda. Never gonna give
We're in
Never
Panda
gonna give
Halo?
you up.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get fucking copyright struck for this.
you up.
Oh, on key.
But
The reason why he's pausing so much is because he had to reach a certain length with the video, I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't know.
He was forced to do this. Because remember, he was like, oh, that first video was way too short.
Yeah. He was forced to do both of the straight videos, and they told him to make it longer, but I don't know if
Right.
they gave him a specific time limit. But
No.
this video is 100% troll influence. They're like, you have to prove that you're straight.
Right.
I can assure you that I am straight. Because, I appreciate the women, all the women, for their personalities purely.
I love how every time he brings up women, he fucking does groping motions.
I know, it's subconscious.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
And notice how he brought up personality when he pretended
Yeah.
to squeeze tits. That's what he's
Yeah.
doing. He's
It's
making
like-
it seem like he's not objectifying them, but he really is.
This is gonna be like a real fucking curveball, but have any of you guys watched the video where where the guy who did Sandy Hook is being interrogated? The kid who did the Sandy Hook massacre?
He's dead. He died. He killed himself.
Oh wait, not him. It was a different shooting then. I forget which one it was. The fucking gremlin looking kid.
Oh, the one where he's faking it? Like faking a
Yeah,
mental...
he's faking being mental. Which school shooting was that?
I don't know. He looked like a gremlin, though.
Yeah. Well, whichever one it
Parkland?
was. Parkland? Okay, I'll believe you. I get fucking shootings
that
mixed
sounds
up.
familiar.
But one of the fucking shooters, he was he was talking with them, and as he was thought that he wasn't being paid attention to, he was like pulling out an imaginary gun and like reenacting the moments that he loved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is what Christian's doing. Even when he thinks about women, he like enacts what he wants to do to women.
Right.
And it's kind of scary in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But any man would be crazy or even ignorant to not even notice the outer beauty in addition to their inner beauty. But I appreciate the inner beauty more than the outer beauty. But
It's
yet,
not
I-
that deep, really. Just stop. It's not that deep.
Like, the fact that he has to make a big deal about people's inner beauty shows that he doesn't know how to human.
No, he doesn't.
There are plenty of women out there that will get that you like them for who they are if you talk to them for a while, then say you're hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not
Like
that
you did.
complex. It's not that complex. All you have to do is be a human, talk to them, get to know them, then say, hey, I find you attractive.
I mean, that's hard for men nowadays who just sit online.
Well, they need to learn.
Attracted to the outer beauty as well, as the majority of my gender should be able
Species.
He almost said species
Yeah.
again.
Yikes.
to appreciate. And Playboy has been able to help us.
I love
in
her
that sense.
personality right there.
I know. Her personality is right there.
Yeah, it's ripe and in my face.
To better relate and further our appreciation for the female species.
Now he said
See?
species again.
They're on a pedestal to him.
He almost acts like they're a completely different thing entirely. And if I had to give my opinion, despite what I said earlier, if I had to give my brutally honest opinion, I really do think that Chris wants to be a woman so he can be perfect in his own eyes.
Right.
It's not like how normal transgender people do it. Like, they feel like they're someone trapped in a different body. I really do feel like Chris wants to transition to be a woman because he's conditioned himself to hate men. And he's conditioned himself to hate himself. So not only does he want to be a woman, he wants to be a new woman with a different name, a different personality, different mannerisms, different way of talking. He's trying to completely disown himself. And he's even acknowledged this in the comics where he had female Chris beat up male Chris. He literally hates himself. And he used this woman identity to escape from his problems. And to
Right.
become perfect.
The females, the women, the beautiful ladies.
And now he's groping the magazine.
God.
Yeah, pray to that magazine. Pray to those tits.
This is why I think he's, like, into, like, the dominatrix type shit.
I think he would be if anyone found him attractive.
Yeah.
But I digress with holding a Playboy, because I do not need to hold a Playboy.
If you don't need to, then why
don't
do you do it? Like, why do it? Why script this into the video if you didn't need to do it? He has other things to prove that he's straight. He has his fucking Transformers he holds up to prove that he's straight. He has his fucking Sailor Moon posters, but he pulled out a Playboy as some fucking sign of dominance.
I know. Also, he's wearing a trans shirt.
That's not a trans shirt.
Yes, it is.
To further prove that I am straight. Because
I'm calling her he because I don't give two fucks and neither does Chris. I've talked to Chris. He doesn't give a shit. If you're going to put yourself in his position and defend him on your behalf, you don't know Chris and you're dumb. You need to
That
stop.
and at this point in time, he went by he. So
Well,
I'm
very
gonna
true.
respect that.
But Chris doesn't fucking care as long as
No.
you don't call him it. He said that before. As long as you don't call him an it, he's fine. And I don't call him a creature. I call him a he.
I am educated throughout my whole lifetime and the classes I have taken between sex ed and high school and real life experiences.
Okay, so I had sex ed, and I will tell you this. It is not very informative. And the only thing I remember from my sex ed was the courses on STDs. And I think that's really the only thing they talked about is, like, wearing a condom and not getting an STD. I think that was the whole fucking course. Maybe my sex ed just sucked, but I don't remember them actually telling you how to talk to women and how to, like, do
That's not
anything.
what it's about.
Well, he hypes it up like it's some type of dating class,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's literally just don't be a fucking idiot. Like, sex ed is just there to be like, if you're going to fuck, here's how to not die.
Exactly.
And my ins and outs of my sweetheart search in the past, the long past. Even though I was thwarted by one female, I will not hold a grudge against her.
You're
I was
torn.
what by
He said he was torn by a female. Meanwhile, Megan was fucked by him. Like, she didn't do anything to hurt that
Yeah.
relationship. It was all him.
It was.
The only thing she did that was questionable, but Chris didn't fucking question, was getting Nazi memorabilia. But
That's epic.
Chris saw nothing wrong with that. He didn't fucking get any literal red flags from that. He just kept getting it. So the only thing that you could have been like, hey, I need to get the fuck away from this bitch. He didn't even pick up one.
I think he was probably into it too.
Oh, no.
Because I'm sure that she is sweet to others, especially to the men that are actually closer to her in her life than I.
We got a super chat. I remember Sex Ed touched briefly on how to recognize abusive relationships. See, that's
Right.
just don't die. That's
Yeah.
all my Sex Ed was.
That's
like,
as far as it went. Yeah.
yeah. It never fucking addressed like how to be in a healthy relationship, how to talk to someone, because if they did, it would seem like they're promoting it when they're just supposed to tell you the basics of it.
Mm-hmm.
Have ever was or ever capable of being. I still will not hold a grudge against her. Yet I have drawn
He does hold a grudge against her, and he paints her as a villain a lot.
He does, yeah.
previous times moments of rage and
Moments of rage, even though he said earlier he doesn't have rage.
Oh, women will piss you off. Trust me.
anger
I
against
piss myself off. I piss
But-
myself.
expressing the anger in the sense of drawing.
He's excusing she came for quick again. That's what he's doing. Because he got
Oh,
angry because he
mhm.
couldn't fuck the shit out of Megan. So he's like, I'm going to draw it. And I'm going to give a thumbs up in that drawing.
Yes, I draw porn when I'm angry. Also, Casey was annoying. I hated that
Oh,
part.
Casey's a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Like, Casey's the type of woman I couldn't fucking tolerate. Especially with her fake-ass voice and her fake-ass laugh.
Yeah.
In the sense of art, but not to put it into gory details, but making it acceptable for even the to make it applicable to be TVY7.
What part of TVY7 has my hand shoved up someone's vag? I'm really curious.
As long as it's censored, it's okay. Look
Or
away, children.
the fucking men beating off into a swimming pool, or the fucking everything else he drew. I could keep naming terrible fucking art I've seen from him that is not TVY7. Hell, Sonichu the fucking sex diagram. Is that TVY7?
I thought Chris kicked Classic Chris because the idea guys said Classic Chris was a Nazi.
No, the him beating up Classic Chris thing was not done because of the Nazi shit.
Isn't that different?
I'm
That's a
pretty
different
sure
part?
he drew himself beating up Classic Chris before, and then he recycled it into the comic.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like image issues before then, and he has talked about beating up himself before that. Hell, you could even date it all the way back to the original run of Sonichu comics before the Idea guys. Nate Cirque is literally just Christian. He's acknowledged it multiple times. He's an evil gay Christian, and he beats the shit out of him.
Of that rating. That is not total rage, because that is rage, negative rage being put into positive.
I don't get how drawing porn of your friends is positive.
I don't either. That's disgusting.
It's creepy, pathetic.
I put most of my rage into positive, outgoing.
The
Positive.
farting, that's what he puts his fucking rage into.
Did he shit?
Whenever he adjusts himself
Oh.
like that, he's fucking having gas problems.
Outcomes, positive drawings, positive inspirations, because I care about the women. And not just the women that I have drawn and care about personally, but every woman that I am only acquainted with.
I am friends with every woman I'm acquainted with. Me friends with women.
Ooga booga.
Or do not know
I guess we have to tell him twice.
Yeah.
personally, or even just total strangers to me.
I don't like total strangers. Fuck that. Fuck them. I don't know them. That's a part of survival. Like, you're not supposed to trust strangers,
No.
Chris. Oh, wait. I'm telling Chris that. Fuck. All they have to do is show him 2 different pictures and say it's me, and he's like, seems legit.
Well, that's his autism.
Yeah.
I still care about the women. And I even go as far as to stoop to one low level. Boobies. Vaginas.
This is my favorite part, and I loved it when Liquid Chris did his impersonation of this. Boobies. Vagina. Like, that's how he sees women. Like, those 2 in particular, that's what he says. And he always does fucking talk about the tits first when he's talking about any woman. And he obsesses about having a vagina. So that's literally the 2 things he cares about with women. And that's why he sees women as perfect beings, because they don't have ducts. And that's why fucking transgenderism scared him. And that's why transvestites scared him. And that's why when people said Sonichu had a dick, it freaked him out. Because she wouldn't be a real woman with a dick. Like, you can really just tear apart his psychological state if you just pay attention to what the fuck he says and how he says it.
Yeah, you're good with that.
There he is with the hands
I
again.
know.
The fucking he goes for the tits first, then for the vag.
And he does, like, the curve inward.
Yes.
Like, okay, so he doesn't like fat women.
He's a fucking liar, though, because Casey was fat.
Yeah. Look at him.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I
Gorgeous.
grope. I grope because they're gorgeous. Yes. The Bill Cosby mindset. Oh, wait, he's a free man. I
He
shouldn't be
is.
saying that. He's innocent.
Congrats.
Very gorgeous. I'm straight. I love the women outside.
Outside. That's why I draw their physical features.
And
It looks like he's doing a retarded dance now.
Yeah. Boot scooting boogie.
inside. And that should be enough to prove that I am straight.
Okay, if you think Chris has proven that he's straight, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that he is still a repressed homosexual, push 2.
That fucking disgusting.
To everyone, even those who dare say otherwise, and those who dare say otherwise, well, I can only say that y'all be damned.
Y'all be damned
Y'all
if
be
you call
damned.
me gay. You're going to hell. God, Jesus, and the bear conductor has fucking seen you as unworthy.
I truly think he was at least repressing his bisexuality.
Well, yeah, I'll believe
It was
that he's
scaring
bi.
him.
I'll believe that he's bi.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not hold it against you because
You did. You just said they'll be damned.
Yeah. You're burning in hell
that
already.
is a humble. That is your opinion.
See, this is the
I
shit
have an
that
opinion
pisses
of
me
you.
off.
You're gay.
This is the shit that pisses me off. The people who say that they respect opinions, but then damn you.
Yeah.
That's not respecting an opinion. Respecting an opinion is to agree to disagree and walking away. Not saying, you're going to hell, and then walking away.
Libitards be like.
And even though it is a whole bunch of lies,
That's not agree to disagree.
No.
That's not respecting someone's opinion.
and it cannot be easily determined whether the originator is male or female, I will not hold those opinions against anybody. Because
Oh yeah, by the way, Chris said if anyone called him gay and they were a woman, he'd walk up and forcibly kiss them to prove that he's straight.
Oh, that proves it.
Yeah, he did say that once. And that's probably why he was saying he can't tell if they're men or women. Because if they are women, he's gonna prove that he's
That
straight.
proves nothing. One of my gay friends in high school, like, he would always kiss up on my other female friends because he thought it was funny, because he felt nothing from it.
Chris doesn't get it.
I care. And I care more about the women. But I will associate and cope with in a okay light with those of my own gender. But I will show more affection and appreciation and care for the women.
Yeah, I think that's a pathetic mindset.
That is.
Like, regardless what your rationale is, you should treat all people the way that you want to be treated. Like, I know it's the fucking kindergarten talk, golden rule. I'm turning into Jordan Peterson, but you really should just treat people like humans. Treat them like you would anyone else instead of fucking praising them like they're some type of god for having tits.
Exactly.
It's pathetic. It's sad, and it shows that you don't understand the worth of people.
Because they are truly the delightful, the more powerful, the more agile.
See, he just put women above like they're some type of god.
I know. It's really sad.
And if Chris wants to become a god, he has to become a woman.
I mean, this kind of talk is exactly why he stayed single for so long.
And why he's still single.
Yeah.
Every now and again,
Magitan's not real.
every now and again, Christian breaks free and becomes rational for a second. And he's like, "Dear God, I'm lonely." And he's made posts like that before where he's like, "I'm lonely, I need somebody." And then he slips back into the imaginary world of, "I have someone, I'm happy."
I still think there's someone out there for him.
I think that if he lowered his standards and settled for a crazy autistic bitch, he'd find someone.
They'd probably be happy together.
The more capable of coping with stresses in the lives in and around us all.
To be fair, women bring more stress, so that's false.
For a man to be in a stable relationship, you have to be able to tolerate women's bullshit. And
the same for the reverse.
That's why for like the cuck men, they end up getting steamrolled and cheated on and whatever, because they never learn to value themselves and they never learn to value their worth. So the woman doesn't value their worth because the man treats himself like shit.
Right.
You have to have self-respect before you can expect anyone to respect you. I really am becoming Jordan Peterson. I need to shut the fuck up.
I mean, I don't think that's a necessarily bad thing.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, but he just tells you common grandpa shit.
And I like it. I like it.
I'm becoming a grandpa.
They will express their anger against it, but that is because they care about themselves.
I think everyone cares about themselves. Like, even for the people who care about others, you have to care about yourself.
Oh, you do. Like, you'll drive yourself insane if you don't.
Christian just says stuff. Like, he says stuff that sounds nice, but he doesn't understand what it means.
Hearing Chris simp is physically painful. I know. I've been cringing this entire time. He just doesn't get it at this point.
It helps that he never looks at the camera.
Yeah.
He
physically can't.
We want us to appreciate them individually for who they are. But I digress. I am straight because I care about the women.
Dylan, talk to us about the Bible.
Oh, he will.
I don't know which one I'll tell you about. I'll tell you about the grand stories of the Quran. And why you should be praising Allah 7 times a day.
New Jess Dylan talking point.
Individually. I appreciate their humble opinions. And as well as their outer beauty.
The tits thing again. Every fucking time. Like, I need to grow tits. Yes, women.
He probably does that to himself.
Ah, God, I don't even want to think about that. Praise God, Jesus, indeed.
And their inner beauty.
The breathing.
And to every one of them, I offer a hug.
You shouldn't.
No,
that's what got you kicked out of a convention.
That's sexual harassment.
You don't have to get in person. Because...
Did Christian invent the virtual hug?
Oh, probably.
It seems like he just invented the virtual hug.
Because you can easily get that from those that are very close to you.
That's pretty Chad.
Right. So, Christian Weston Chandler, I am straight.
China.
Peace.
Peace.
And that is the end of our show. What did you think of that epic video?
I wanted to say that, like, I really think the Chris today is more true to what he wanted to be.
I feel like that too, and I feel like the main reason why he was held back is because of Bob.
Exactly.
Like, Bob would call him queer, and he did. Bob would insult Chris if he decided to do this. So Chris's homophobia comes from Bob. Chris's anti-Semitic behavior came from Bob. Any negative thing came from his parents, not him. Christian is mostly a child with his beliefs, and he's willing to flip them to whatever positive thing if he's not being fed negative shit. Like, I really don't think Chris is a bad person, and I think that's where a lot of people misunderstand him. They think that he has malicious thoughts and wants to do malicious things. When he attacks people, it's because he feels like he's being attacked.
Right.
When he acts negative, it's because he feels like he has to. I really think Chris is just sad and pathetic. I don't think he's harmful in any reasonable way.
Like, I think the Chris nowadays is more true to himself, and, like, that's a great thing. I really like the person Chris is now, because he seems a lot more comfortable with himself, but I just don't like what he's been doing, like, at conventions. That's totally not okay. When
he turned into a woman, and when he started accepting his more queer personality, he stopped hating gay people.
Right.
He stopped hating men as much. I think his loathing for men is because he was being forced to be a man.
And I think because he had that internalized hate for himself being a man as well.
I think it's really psychological, and I think it was because his parents repressed him so much.
And that's not good.
Now, I think it really comes down to, like I said earlier, Chris hates himself because he's demonized men, and that's why he wants to be a woman to escape from being a man. That's how I feel like. But he seems happier now. If he wants to live in an imaginary world and fucking pretend he has mental disabilities, I'm not gonna interact with him anymore. Because, like, modern Chris, he's just pretending to be schizophrenic. He's even pulling out schizophrenic cards in his fucking tarot deck. And for anyone that knows me, I don't humor fake mental illnesses. I don't humor it. He is autistic. He might have gender dysphoria. There's a lot of evidence for him having gender dysphoria. But when he starts faking mental illnesses he doesn't have, I lose interest in him. Because anyone can fake having a mental illness. It's not a big deal. I find Chris more interesting when he's being himself than when he's trying to be something that he finds interesting to other people. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed recording it. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys again. And
no, he didn't. He hates you.
No. And hopefully you guys are ready for next week, because I'm going to be back to recording again. I got my dentist stuff dealt with for now, and I'm ready to get back to doing the shows. Thank you, babe.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for that loud burp in the mic.
You're welcome.
If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.
Bye. Subscribe, please.